Hi everybody, here we're going to go over the instructions for the simple circuit lab. So here you're going to learn how to identify the various components of a circuit, such as power supplies, a resistor, a voltmeter, and an ammeter. So first thing you'll do is you're going to click on link A, and when you click on link A, this website is going to appear. And if you go back to the Excel spreadsheet, you'll see at the bottom beneath section 6, here there's an actual image of that circuit. So this circuit from link A, I'm calling that circuit A. And your recordings from circuit A, you're going to record them over here. And let's actually go ahead and, while we're there, let's click on circuit B. So if you click on link B, then this website is going to appear. And from here, there's actually a sample of what the circuit should look like. It's going to be over here, this one here. So the results from circuit B, you're going to record over here in a table for circuit B. And these two circuits are actually identical. So we're just going to do an experiment with circuit A and then repeat it with circuit B, and then just see if we can compare the results. All right, so let's go ahead and see how the experiment is organized. So if you look at it, the only thing you're going to record are the instrument errors, and the instrument errors are you're only going to record the instrument errors for the circuit in link A. So only for this voltmeter here and for this ammeter. These are the only errors you're going to record. So if you go back to link A, that's the first part. You're going to record your errors here, and the only other section is this part here. So really, you're just recording information in this table, and that's going to complete the experiment. And in each case, what you're going to record is going to be voltage, current, and resistance. So with that quick introduction, let's go ahead and go to circuit A in the link. So if you go to circuit A, so you have the various components. You have a battery box that's going to represent the power supply, and you can adjust the number of batteries. And if you go back to link to the Excel sheet, here for circuit A, you're going to input the number of batteries that the instructions ask you to here. So if it's one battery, then you put one, and so on. So you're going to input the number of batteries in this table. So you can, in the circuit, you can adjust the number of batteries. And here there's a new component called a resistor. And this resistor here, if you click on the resistor, you can actually change the settings. And if you notice, when I switch to resistors, the color changes. What that means is that you'll have to read these colors in the order that you see them. And from there, you're going to go back to the Excel sheet. And there's a table here that tells you, based on the color combinations, what value does the resistance come out to be. So in the circuit, once you click on the resistor, you're gonna use this table to get a numerical value for the resistance, and then you'll go back to the Excel sheet, and then you're gonna record the resistance over here. The only thing is that for this link, if I go back to the circuit, if I refresh this page here, the resistor is gonna a new value for the resistance is automatically gonna get generated. So once you're doing the experiment, make sure that you don't refresh the page so that you don't change the resistance. So once you get the numerical value for the resistance, you're going to place it over here. And it should stay the same throughout the experiment. So that value, the resistance, is going to stay the same throughout the entire experiment. And don't forget to include the units for resistance and also the units for these other components here. So that's the resistor. And so here we actually try to understand how the circuit works. You have a battery, it's pushing current through the circuit, and the circuit is going to pass through this resistor, and then the current is going to wind its way back into the battery. That's the general circuit. Now you have two probes. What's happening is that there's a probe that's placed across the resistor, and that probe is measuring voltage. And then there's a probe here that's placed in this part of the circuit, and that's measuring current. So one of the goals for today's lab is you're going to learn how do you connect a voltmeter to measure voltage, and how do you connect an ammeter to measure current. there are actually two different connection types, and you'll have to analyze the circuit in link A and in the circuit in link B to see how those connections differ. Basically, you can just drag your finger across the circuit and see how the wires move from one device to the other. But I'll have you do that during the lab yourself. Okay, so that's a general overview of the circuit. So let's actually see how we can do one of the first experiments. So let's say that you have, I'm just going to pick a random number. Let's say that so that you can have a different value yourself. Actually, it's okay since we're all going to get randomly generated numbers. Let me pick a resistor with a battery box with a specific value. So here there's three batteries. So I'll say here this is going to count for, you have three batteries, and you want to record the voltage in the circuit. So you click on the voltmeter and you're going to record that voltage. So that's going to go here. And from there, you also want to record the current in the circuit. So that's, you're going to click on the ammeter here, and you're going to record that current. So don't forget to convert to SI, but I'm going to write it as is. And don't forget the units for voltage and for current. And the resistor should stay the same for this entire setup. And then next, what you'll do is you'll go back to the battery box, switch it to 4 resistors, and then repeat the same experiment. And you're just going to complete or fill in this table here by switching the number of batteries, keeping the resistance constant, and then recording the different values for voltage and current. And that's going to complete the setup for section A. So you're just seeing, so section A, the purpose is to see how to measure voltage, how to measure current, and how you connect the devices to measure those two values. So that's going to complete section A. Section B is similar. So that's going to be here for circuit B is going to be similar. But in this case, you're going to create the circuit yourself. So here's an image of what the circuit looks like, and you're going to have to build it yourself in circuit B. So if you click on link B, you're going to have a blank page like this. So you'll put your different components. So you have battery wires. You'll have your resistor, and then you'll have your wires in the middle. And you can just connect the pieces. And if you connect these devices, you'll notice that a current is going to flow through the circuit. So also make sure that you have it set to show current and then electrons. So not only are you going to have the different components of the circuit, but you're also going to have the probes. So if you go back to this page, you should have an ammeter in this location and a voltmeter connected. Well, this circuit is actually identical to this one, so we're going to match the same connections. So the voltmeter should be connected across the resistor. So he just had to build that circuit. So I'm just I'll put the ammeter here, and then the voltmeter is going to go here. And you just have to connect the different pieces, and then put the probes at their proper location. So the circuit is not fully connected, so you're not going to read any voltage, but you're just going to do the same experiment. So let's actually, I'm going to adjust my value so that you can get the different result yourself. So let's say that we have 2 batteries. And you connect your ammeter. In this case here, there's a current flowing through the circuit. So similarly with the other experiment, you can, if you click on the battery, you can actually change the value for the battery. And if you click on the resistor, you can change the value for the resistor. But the experiment is going to ask you to set the resistance to a specific value and then leave it at that value for the entire experiment. And just like with the circuit A experiment, what you're going to do is you're going to keep the voltage, you're going to keep the resistor the same, and you're going to click on the voltage, and you're going to adjust the values for the voltage. So, and from there, you're going to record the corresponding voltage from the voltmeter and the current passing through the ammeter. So if I go to the circuit B here, this tells you the voltages that you're going to set your battery to. So you can just click here, and for example, one of them is 90. So you'll set it to 90. Here, these are two batteries, so you're gonna get different results, but you'll just set the value to 90, and from there you're gonna record. So you'll put the value. So the value for the voltage is already given. You record the value for the resistor here. So whatever value is set for the resistor, you're gonna record that value here. And then the corresponding current you're going to record here. So, and you're going to get that one from the ammeter. And that's it. Next, what you'll do is you'll just change the voltages and record the corresponding current. So you'll just change the voltage to another, well, you click on voltage and change the voltage to a different value, and then record the corresponding voltmeter reading and the corresponding ammeter reading, all the while keeping the resistor constant. And that's going to complete the second section here. And this is all we're going to do for the experiment. So this is not an actual lab where we're comparing something to an accepted value. You're just learning how to connect the different pieces of a circuit. So this is what the purpose of today's lab is. And next, if you click on the homework sheet, you're going to see that you're going to go back to circuit B, and you're going to build. And there's pictures on the side. Okay, so here there's for the homework questions, you'll just, for example, here it says you're gonna look at circuit number 1. You're gonna build this circuit in that FET web page. So this is the circuit with the connections open, and this is the circuit with the connections closed. And based on your observations, you're gonna answer these questions here. So there's quite a few questions for circuit number 1. And then for circuit number 2, here that starts at number 7, you'll click on here, circuit number 2, build this circuit in the FET simulation page. This is again the circuit with the links open, or the connections open, and this is a circuit with the connections closed. And after you close the connection, then you'll make your observations, and you'll record your observations here. So these are going to be multiple choice questions. You'll just have to pick the best answer you think it is for the multiple from these list of multiple choice questions. And there's going to be 15 of these. So in each question, so number 10, it tells you what circuit you're going to create and what observation you're going to have to make. And that's going to complete the homework section for the simple circuit lab.